Also wanted to talk about school children in Stroud. They're doing something very special today. Hi guys, they're raising money for a food redistribution charity. They're becoming market traders today as they sell their school grown fruit and veg to the public, raising money for a food redistribution charity. It's from 11 till 1 at the Stroud Shambles Market. The programme's called Young Marketeers. I like what they've done there. It's run by the charity School Food Matters. Gives the children the opportunity to grow food from seed with the help of expert gardeners before harvesting and selling their fresh and tasty produce to the community. Brilliant. There's dozens of enterprising children from 5 schools are selling also. Well, let's get Ruth Quinlan on, who's the local project officer for schoolfoodmatters.org. I spoke to her a little bit earlier on. She told me all about it.
So the 4 schools that are going to be selling in Stroud Shambles Market are part of a project called Young Marketeers Gloucestershire, which is run by School Food Matters. And School Food Matters is a charity that's been going for 15 years, and they want children to know more about food. They want them to know where it comes from, how to grow it, how to cook it, because they think that that's just going to add so much value and health to children's lives for all of their lives. And this one project, Young Marketeers, is where I, as a gardener, go into schools and show them how to grow veg and give them some support. So that's been going on since March. And they are brilliant, they're excited, they've got amazing fruit and veg that they're growing, and it's a real joy to be involved with them. And they're going to be selling these veg to raise money for the Long Table, which is a local organisation that fights loneliness and poverty through food.
So where do you start with veg? Because, I mean, there's the humble carrot and potato, but, I mean, you can take it in all directions, can't you?
Well, you can. I mean, what you sort of think about is trying to get the children to just have as much exposure to as much about gardening as possible, because some crops will fail, slugs will eat some of your produce. So you've just got to keep on sowing those seeds. And we try and obviously focus on seeds that will come to fruition in time for our market today, July the 15th. So what we will have to sell are things like broad beans. There will be little herb plants for sale. There'll be herb bundles for sale. There'll be loads of sort of rocket and lettuces. There'll be baby carrots and beetroots. There'll be potatoes. And there might even be some flowers. So, and I probably haven't even covered everything there. There might be some early courgettes. So there's just a huge range, and each school has got a different sort of setup. Some are growing in containers. Sometimes the whole school's involved, and so each child might get a small amount of exposure to the garden. And in some schools it's the gardening club, and in other schools it's a whole year group. Sometimes they're growing in very newly dug beds that have just been dug into a sort of grassy patch and hastily fed with sort of compost and manure and stuff. But everybody's getting stuck in and really enjoying it. And the teachers are fantastic, because some of them are relatively new to gardening and they're learning too. So yeah, it's a mixture of produce, it's a mixture of successes and failures along the way, but there's a lot of chance for kids to learn new skills. They're learning how to sell. They spoke to a market trader who came to see them in a little community growing space back in March, and they're learning how to nurture their plants. They're learning about the pleasures and the power of nature, and the pleasure about doing something for others, because, you know, they're going to be selling veg, which will be great fun playing shop, but they're going to be, you know, raising cash for the Long Table so that people who, you know, have trouble paying for food can get meals, and that, you know, helping to subsidise that. And also the Long Table teach young people to become chefs. So they're a brilliant organisation. So I think the children learn a bit about how the world works. You know, when you're quite young, at primary school, I know that I just didn't really know how everything sort of fitted together. And this isn't teaching them about everything, but they'll increase their confidence and they'll meet members of their community in the market. They've already gone to the Long Table and seen how that works. They've already met a market trader. It's a lot of fun.
It definitely is. And hopefully the young people taking part, you know, will sort of pass this on to the next generation, the education, the sort of themes that they pick out of it, and the practicalities of growing veg. You know, hopefully it will pass on to a new generation.
Definitely, because when you learn something really young, it's just really entrenched. And, we've done a lot of repetition of sowing seeds, potting on little seedlings, and the children all totally get it. They're really gentle with the plants. They love all the insects that they see while we're gardening. And, as you say, they're going to know about how to grow. They'll always know that. They'll be, hopefully keen to pass that on because they seem to be enjoying it. And to be honest, they're going to be more keen to eat veg because if you've grown something, you're really excited by it and you're really proud of it and you want to eat it and you're going to think it tastes great and you're going to want other people to taste it too. So there's a lot of sort of enthusiasm for veg that comes out of this, which can only be a good thing, really.
Definitely. And the programme, as you said, called Young Marketeers, I believe it's right. Or are they marketers or a bit of both?
Well, it's called Young Marketeers. It sounds a bit businessy, but I mean, I suppose they are picking up a few business skills, but really the marketeer bit refers to that, selling in the market, which is, the culmination of the project. And even if the stuff's still growing in their garden at school now, that's fine. It's not just about the market. It's really about growing and just feeling that you've learned something and you know how to do it, and you can be sort of inspired by nurturing plants and watching them grow and, growing food.
Definitely. And for people listening right now, there's still time to go along. What time is it happening in Stroud? 11
o'clock this morning till 1. The mayor's coming. We've invited, some sort of secret celebrities. So you never know which of those, are going to turn up. So there might even be some exciting people to spot in the shambles.
That's absolutely brilliant. And what's growing in your garden at the moment? You must be loving this time of year.
It's amazing. I'm just spending so many hours every day picking black currants and gooseberries at the moment, broad beans, and that's the courgettes have just started. So I guess they're the main crops. Red currants are just about over. So it's a real kind of crazy time where everything's just growing massively, and you just sort of struggle to keep on top of it. But it's great. I love harvesting.
Oh, brilliant. That is Ruth Quinlan, Local Projects Officer for schoolfoodmatters.org as well. Well done to all the youngsters taking part in that. As today from 11 to 1 at the Stroud Shambles Market. Local children selling their produce, all for a brilliant food redistribution charity. Right, it's new music on BBC Radio.